comments online is that you're doing a better job covering the protests than the actual meeting.
I'm just trying to report as I see it. I try not to put any slant.
You understand why I wanted to do this?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Now we understand you guys are just following orders.
So we're going to come through here.
All right. All right, I'll follow you. This is what democracy looks like.
Do you guys know if the side door is open?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you. I do know you were taking complaints all night. I did see that, and I did remark that.
I was trying it. I didn't get gas.
Yeah, I got enough of that too. City Hall. Oh.
How many officers are out here?
I believe that they all have that number here. I would only have to give you that document because we have outside use.
That's what I heard too. Second floor, hearing room 4. Yep. Oh, all right. Thank you, officer.
I'll make sure that that's right.
That's what I've been hearing all morning, so. Alrighty, here we are in the press room. Yeah, his name was Officer Bolton. He was very nice to me all night, and I did know that he was taking complaints against police brutality all night, so kudos to him. Anything you guys want me to question?
I'm assuming, I don't really know, but I'm just assuming you guys saw people
Kudos, Faux Pinky. I'm gonna try to get a better vantage.
Media. You guys okay?
I'm not corporate media.
She's not corporate. Media. All of you guys are corporate. Not him.
Okay.
And you're the poster child of corporate. We're all not drunk.
That's really funny. I heard corporate media said it was a peaceful cops came in peacefully today. Is that what you guys told?
Actually, they left. The people who were arrested left peacefully. They didn't resist.
Mind your way.
Huh?
Mind your way.
Sure, he's fine. Horribly.
Just a little. Yeah, yeah. No problem. you getting Wi-Fi here?
I do some research.
Is there an open Wi-Fi? Guest? No user logins or anything?
That's fine. You can ask me for money. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're going to start with some opening remarks from our City Administrator, Deanna Santana. Chief Jordan will then give an overview of today's operation. Chief Mark Hoffman from the Fire Department is here to answer questions. So we'll make some opening remarks and then we'll take some Q&A. I'm going to ask that if you would please raise your hand and identify your media affiliation. I would appreciate it, and I'll monitor. The protest. After the first weekend, the city began.
¿Tus hijos haciendo una obra de arte?
Transit
No hay
website
problema.
page.
En
and
esta
right
prueba, una toalla de Bounty deja esta superficie más limpia que 3 toallas de la marca barata. Bounty, para lo que venga.
The fire department and the police department were denied access to the plaza to respond to calls for service. The city also received reports that an individual was severely beaten. Sanitation conditions worsened with human waste throughout the plaza, as well as improper food storage. The existing rodent problem was exacerbated, and the county health referred and informed that they would have to come out and exterminate the rodents. The plaza was physically damaged on a daily basis by graffiti, litter, and vandalism. Fire hazards continued unabated, including cooking with open flames, improper storage and disposal of propane tanks, storage of grease, inadequate fire extinguishers, density of tents, as well as flammable materials. We did offer to pick them up and remove them from the site as early as yesterday. The City of Oakland's goal has been to facilitate individuals to remove their tents, cooking facilities, and belongings, and to leave cooperatively. The city has partnered with community allies to help facilitate communication with protesters regarding their departure and provided services to those without housing and mental health needs. These efforts were not successful over the weekend. Securing an adequate level of mutual aid has also been a primary goal, especially considering the regional impact that the demonstration has had on other local law enforcement agencies. I want to personally thank all of the local law enforcement agencies that provided assistance. I want to thank the Oakland Police Department, the Oakland Fire Department, and specifically Chief Jordan and Deputy Chief Israel. The city remains committed to respecting free speech, as well as maintaining the city's responsibility to public health and safety. When safe and practical, peaceful daytime assembly will be allowed between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m., but no camping or overnight stays are permitted. There may be some disruption to the closet during the time that it takes to clean it up, and we want to ensure that the closet poses no health and safety hazards. For now, the closet is closed. The City of Oakland's goal is to clean it up to facilitate free speech and assembly as soon as practical. I'll pass it over to Chief Jordan.
It'd be easy for me to sit here.
If you could, yeah, that'd be great.
Good morning, everyone. This morning at about 4:30 a.m., hundreds of OPD officers, as well as allied agencies, came to Franco Gower Plaza to remove approximately 200 campers that have been camping there overnight for the past 2 weeks. People who wanted to leave were given the opportunity to leave along with their property. We had about 30 people that left on their own without any incident. As the officers moved in, we ended up arresting about 75 people. That's an approximate number now, but we're still processing the number of arrestees, and that number will likely increase. During this operation, there was use of force. We fired or used tear gas in one particular incident. There were also beanbag rounds that were fired, not rubber pellets as been previously reported. Those incidents, per our policy, will be investigated and reviewed by the Internal Affairs Division and the Office of the Inspector General, who will be looking at this particular operation for any kind of training needs. The mutual aid people agencies that were here with us, I'd like to thank them and personally list who they were, starting with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, the Berkeley Police Department, University of California Berkeley Police Department, Hayward PD, Fremont PD, San Leandro PD, Pleasanton, Emeryville, Union City, Newark, Solano County, Alameda PD, California Highway Patrol, the Santa Clara County Sheriffs, San Francisco County Sheriffs, and lastly, the San Jose Police Department. There were no injuries reported at this point to either demonstrators, arrestees, or police officers. There were no children that were found in the camp, and everyone that had a dog with them were allowed to leave, and they left peacefully with their dogs. And I'll turn it over now to the Fire Chief.
Called into question, my name is Mark Hoffman, I'm the owner of the Oakland Fire Department. Called into question was the repeated fire code violations. We had almost from the offset a problem with open flame being used to cook. We had evidence of lanterns and candles being used for general lighting. Notice was given that people were non-compliant and violating said codes. We had combustibles mixed with the straw that had been put down the wooden pallets, the amount of plastics and nylons. At no point was this an activity that would be allowed in a normal setting. It is the Uniform Fire Code that is as adopted by the City of Oakland that we enforce, and it is municipal codes that were being violated. So we noticed them on repeated occasions, and then finally that was part of why police finally came in support of our desire to keep it as a safe from a fire perspective.
Okay, at this point we're going to take questions, and I'd like you to please state your media affiliation, please.
Will Tran, Cron 4 News. First question is, why wasn't the mayor not here to address this news conference?
The mayor is traveling in Washington, D.C. She is actively trying to obtain grants for the Port of Oakland.
I'm with the Citizens Press, and I'd like you to speak to why, when you came in to raid the Snow Park camp, that you did so after 6 a.m. when they were actually legally allowed to be there.
Actually, we got there at 4:30 a.m. And the penal code section that we're using has nothing to do with parks. It actually specifically speaks to lodging in any public facility, regardless of the time of day. It is unlawful for anyone to do that. Additionally, once we got there, we made the announcement that this was against the law. We also made an announcement for a dispersal for unlawful assembly. So, taking into account that not everyone was there at the beginning, we made 2 dispersal announcements for 2 specific events.
Can you speak to which part of the Constitution does it say that only between certain hours are we allowed to peaceably assemble?
Here in the back.
Nick Smith, ABC 7. Chief George, there were reports of tear gas being used by the protesters or by the police. Can you clarify that for us, please, and let us know who actually administered the tear gas?
As far as we know, we were the ones that deployed tear gas in order to effect an arrest in a particular area where we were being pelted with rocks and bottles and other kitchen utensils.
Okay, next question here.
Terry McSweeney, ABC 7. There were reports of flashbangs. On Twitter, you see reports of shotguns. Could you talk about everything you used to disperse that crowd, everything you used to follow up on that?
Sure. We did not use flashbangs. What you heard were M1000 and M80 firecrackers that were being thrown at the officers right by the kitchen area. The shotgun that you saw was used to deploy the less than lethal round, which is a drag stabilizer, in order to isolate someone who was arming themselves with, someone that reached into a garbage can and was picking up bottles. They had already thrown bottles at us. They were going back into a garbage can to retrieve more bottles. And by policy, we are allowed to use less lethal rounds to neutralize that person and take them in custody.
That's the beanbag.
Yes.
Here.
Paul Burton, freelance writer, AFL-CIO. At a time when public employee pensions are being cut, when public service workers are being laid off and libraries are being closed, how do you justify this expense of 500 or 600 police officers from around the area coming in and destroying a peaceful camp where there was maybe 100 people, as you said, maybe 75 arrested? How do you justify that expense? How much is it going to cost Bay Area taxpayers?
With the city's request, we were not successful. As the city administrator, accompanied by the police chief and the fire chief, we have an obligation to maintain public safety and health. And as I stated in my opening comments, we were not able to respond to calls for service when people were requesting service calls. We had put in place an alternative service response. The fire department, for instance, would allow for people having seizures or
Y esta es la cocina.
medical response. I have an obligation